Yeah, it has been crazy. You know, I got off from the highest of all highs, going back from Suzuka to come here, and you know, I was full of motivation. But when I rode the bike on Friday, I just didn't feel myself. A little bit like Bruno, we're really struggling with changing direction and the throttle connection. But slowly but surely, you know, that's a lot of that is to do with rear grip. Now, since they've stopped my favourite rear tyres a few races ago, and they're not coming, where I'm really struggling to get the feeling with the rear of the bike and the throttle. So going into today, I didn't expect to come away with a 4th and a 9th. You know, race 1 I battled for the win right to the end. It was a bit of a conditions race on slick tyres, so I just had to keep my cool, and in the end finished 4th. Race 2 was an unbelievable race. It was so it was exciting, you know, when you're standing in the stands, but it was boring behind the screen, because in a race like this you can't push, because in the beginning it's not fully wet. So I had to conserve the tyre a lot and be very quiet in the beginning. But then when the rain started really coming on, I was able to start to use the tyre and abuse the tyre, because the condition would stay the same. But in the end, you know, I had a crash going into turn 1. You know, it's the same Pirelli crash that everybody's having on the rear. When they get to the apex, the rear just lets go. I don't know what, but it's been happening for years now. So a little bit frustrated about that, because I was starting to feel good. But I don't know what's happening with the result, but I got 9th anyway, and I'm not going to shout about it, because I'm quite happy with 9th after the crash. And yeah, looking forward to going to Moscow, a new track. So, but really looking forward to a few weeks off now, because it's been a busy 3 weeks. And you know, I know that myself and the machine's a lot better than the results that, you know, we were posting this weekend in the practices and qualifying. So I think time's going to be a good healer for everybody, you know, to go back to the workshop, check data, and you know, try to improve the bike, and for me to go home and recharge the batteries and arrive in Moscow fully fresh and ready to challenge.
Yeah, 2 races was a little bit complicated because of the weather. First race we start with slick tire, almost everybody, but in the middle of the race we got some rain drop, and it was more and more, and it was quite difficult. But I think initial part of the race I lost too much, but the rest of the race my pace wasn't so bad, and it is pity. And second race we start with rain tire, but there was no water, so it was also critical. But the middle of the race it was too much rain, and everybody started to crash, and also some part of the racetrack it was like petrol or oil, and it was very slippery. But I tried to stay on the bike, and I finished 12, but at the end the result was confirmed with 14, so it was pity. But for dry and wet, my impression wasn't so bad, and next race we go to new racetrack, and I'm looking forward to riding Moscow.